Okay, we're
Okay.
good.
Okay. My name is Ashley Heang, and I'm the new benefits manager over here in Human Resources. I started about 3 to 4 weeks ago, I guess, at this point, and looking forward to meeting everyone, or getting to know you through like your questions. I'm over benefits, leaves, and workers' compensation, but you guys can definitely continue to communicate to the benefits mailbox. We'll still communicate from there, but just wanted to let you know who I was.
Ashley, is this a new position?
I believe it was previously the benefits and compensation manager, or the manager of benefits and compensation. And so I think they just split compensation off. And so it's a little bit of a split, a little bit new, but kind of was here before.
Okay.
Yeah, Amy, we thought we really thought the benefits team needed a little more focus. So I'm keeping the compensation role that I had when I was the director of comp and benefits, and then the benefits team is going to be really solely dedicated to our benefit services.
Okay. All right, Eric's here now, everybody. We are recording Eric, so.
Yep, I got it. Thank you very much. Thanks for accommodating my little delay here. So that's good. So yeah, I appreciate everyone jumping on this call. Open enrollment season's upon us. Open enrollment will begin on Monday. And the open enrollment, the benefit fair is going to be on Wednesday of next week. So if you've never attended before, I encourage you to give it a try. I think it's a great event. A lot of good vendors, a lot of good information. Get your flu shot, ask questions if you have them. All the insurance providers and carriers will be there. So if there are questions you have, it's a great opportunity to get some information and meet folks on campus and take advantage of that day. So I'm going to just reference the open enrollment guides that went out. The link went out via email Tuesday morning, first thing Tuesday morning. And there aren't a lot of changes, but I am just going to highlight some of the changes that are in the document, actually all the changes in the document, and then we'll have plenty of time for any questions that anyone has after we go through that. So I'll start with the medical, dental, and vision plans. First, just to say there's been no changes to those plans. So the plans as they are structured are going to continue to be the same as they've been for the last many, many years. So no changes there. There are obviously changes to the cost of those plans. That varies from year to year. Our costs, the university's costs, are primarily based on claims experience. Like any other insurance company, Priority and Blue Cross have underwriting teams where they go back and look at prior claims experience for the university and make predictions about future use and derive these rates that we have in place year over year. So those rates did increase this year. They increased more than they have in probably the years past, which I'm not happy about. I'm sure no one's going to be happy about. Um, but at this point, that's really driven by the carriers themselves as well as the claims of our faculty and staff. Um, on page 2 of the open enrollment benefit guide, that's typically where we try to capture, what's changing for the next calendar year. So on the bottom half of page 2 of the open enrollment guide, there is a section called What's Changing in 2025. And just I'll highlight a couple of those things. I know this probably isn't going to be great news for everybody, but Blue Care Network, we all remember the priority change to Virgin Pulse last year, and that was obviously, a issue on a number of fronts. Blue Care Network has made the same change, but not in the same way. So Blue Care Network is using the same platform for everyone who's in Blue Care Network to qualify for the Healthy Blue Living. They are using Virgin Pulse as the platform to enter information, which is now Virgin Pulse has changed its name to Personify Health. So it's going to look different when the information comes out. They're not changing their requirements. They're not changing what it takes to be qualified for Healthy Blue Living. It's just going to be the information you provide is going to be provided through this platform. So that is a change, not as dramatic as the priority change was last year, but still a change nonetheless. Effective, you might have seen this in the paper. This has been pretty well reported on, that there are certain drugs, the glucagon-like peptide 1 or GLP-1 drugs for weight loss, those are no longer going to be covered on the Blue Cross platform. So if you're using those drugs, they will no longer be covered. They have not been covered by priority and will not be covered by priority in the future, but this is a change for the Blue Cross Blue Shield plans that they also are not going to be covering that script. At the very bottom of page 2, it talks about the new flexible spending account limits. Those change every year. So for 2025, they are bumping from the $3,050 limit for the healthcare flexible spending accounts in 2024 to $3,200 for 2025. The dependent care amounts have not changed for 2025. And I'll say generally as an overview, if in open enrollment, you're not interested in making any changes to your medical, dental, or vision plans, or maybe any voluntary benefits that you have that you want to continue for 2025, there's no need for you to do anything during open enrollment if you're not making any changes. All of your current elections will carry over into 2025. The only exception to that is your flexible spending account. For flexible spending, if you're participating this year, if you're participating in 2024, you have to re-enroll for 2025, make a new election, even if it's the same amount, you still need to re-up that benefit for 2025. So that is the one exception. Even if you want to keep your FSA the same for 2025, you still need to re-enroll in that benefit and re-enroll with the amount you're going to elect during open enrollment. I'm going to kind of go to, as a reminder, towards the end of the open enrollment packet, page 20 and after, is sort of the section that covers voluntary benefits, more benefits that are more voluntary. The first would be supplemental life. If you do want to change the amount of supplemental life you're purchasing, you do need to see HR to process that. There are qualifiers that need to be met depending on how much you want to change your supplemental life insurance to. There's certain increments of coverage and there's certain requirements that need to be met depending on what it is you want to do. So irrespective if you want to bump up or change your supplemental life insurance, you do need to visit with one of the staff on the benefits team and go through that process. And again, just a reminder on the voluntary benefits, if you're doing the MetLife prepaid legal, if you're doing the Allstate identity theft, those voluntary benefits, if you were participating in those benefits in 2024, they will carry over into 2025 unless you cancel them and elect not to participate. And then lastly, I do want to just point out on page 27 and 28 of the open enrollment guide, there is a lot of information there regarding a new employee assistance program that the university has partnered with, a company called Alliance. The university has had, at least in my time here, what I would call a very passive employee assistance program available to faculty and staff. It was a 1-800 number that really provides 3 sort of counseling sessions telephonically for someone who may have some needs and looking for some assistance. Those folks weren't local, they weren't in the area. And again, it was a very passive program. Alliance offers a more proactive employee assistance program where if you do have a need, there's no limit as to the counseling sessions. When you meet with a counselor, what they will do is they will try to assist you through the issue you're dealing with, so long as the issues are more short-term in nature. So it's not defined as a 3-visit program or a 6-visit program. It's defined as a program that you will receive as many visits as possible so long as it's a short-term issue. If those counseling sessions turn into conversation about some longer-term assistance you may be looking for, then you'd be transitioning over to your insurance coverage and having whatever you need to do covered that way. But as long as you're in sort of that short-term discussion phase and looking for assistance at that level, there's no cost to you. The university is paying for this program. And there's a lot of resources there covered on pages 27 and 28 that may be helpful to you. So I'd encourage you to go onto their website, look and see what's available. They have a number of webinars and informational sessions that you may find helpful. And it's again, a new program that's we're offering to our faculty and staff we started in 2024. So I'm excited about it. It's a long time coming. This is something that I've identified as a priority for me anyway, since I started in HR. This is, I think, a real important program for employees of any organization to have available to them. So we do have that as a new program. So, and again, any questions on that, feel free to talk to somebody on the benefits team, and we can help guide you or provide you more information as you need it. So those are sort of the, I guess, the newer items, reminder items that I wanted to cover, and I am happy to answer any questions that anybody has, and kind of work through that process for the remainder of our time.
Does anyone have any questions for Eric or Ashley?
I have a question, Eric. How much FSA money we can roll over to next year?
How much in your health savings account can you roll over?
Yeah, it's FSA.
In your FSA, Ashley,
Yeah.
Ashley, do you know the limit of that for this year, or even
This year is $600 for 2003 to 2004, but my question is 2004 to 2005.
I believe it's a minimum of $25 up to $640.
the
Oh,
rollover amount?
640. Maximum 640.
I believe so.
Okay, thank you.
Other questions? A question in the chat. If the physical was done in April with priority, will that count for this year's coming physical?
There is a look back. I don't think it looks back as far as April of the prior year. I want to say it's the last 3 months of this year. If you have a physical in the last quarter of this year, that would count towards 2025. I don't think we dial all the way back to April of the prior year. So I think you want to do that new sometime between now and April, over the next 6 months or so.
And Ken just confirmed your 640 number from the IRS website.
Great, thanks.
For the new use of Virgin, which is now Personified Health, I don't know where they get these names, but whatever. So they don't have to do, the people in the Blue Care network don't have to do the point system.
No, the requirements to meet the eligibility for Healthy Blue Living are not changing. It's just the manner in which you're transmitting the information to Blue Cross is going to be through that portal.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, but there's no new point system. There's no new method to qualify. That all is staying the same.
And did HR get less complaints about Virgin this calendar year than last calendar year? Because I know it was abysmal at first.
We got less complaints this year than we did when we implemented it. Correct. We had, and a lot of that was based on just communication. I don't think priority was as proactive as far as being able to get in front of our faculty and staff to educate on that program. That was the biggest problem in 2023, but definitely less complaints last year than we had the prior year.
I mean, I think the biggest complaints I got was that Virgin was terrible at communication, not necessarily
Gotcha.
Oakland, but Virgin was awful.
Yeah.
And then the Uliance, have you had any like buy-in from faculty and employees with Uliance yet?
We don't know specifically who is taking advantage of the program. We just know general numbers.
That's what I mean, just on campus in general.
Yeah, I think we've had, I think the last communication we had with them is we probably had a dozen or so employee interactions, whether that be a phone call or a visit. They don't distinguish between those either. So at least a contact from an employee to Uliance.
I would encourage if you can come up with more sort of just one-off flyers that you can share with me that I can distribute out to faculty. Because buried in the middle of the package on page 47 and 28, I don't know how many people are gonna dig that far.
Yeah, we'll do. Thanks for that suggestion and that offer.
A question about priority health. It says one can see a specialist with referral. Will things like blood tests ordered by a specialist be communicated directly between its office and the priority health for approval?
I'm not sure I understand the question because that's not a referral. So if someone's ready for blood work, then
I think Eddie's asking if you've been referred to the specialist and the specialist orders stuff. is that going to be
Oh,
covered? Is that what
it's a,
you're asking, Eddie? I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's my mistake. I meant without referral. I think for priority health, we don't need the referral from the PCP.
I couldn't quite understand
I
that.
can't hear you, Eddie. You're muffled.
So can you hear me now?
Not much better.
Really.
Okay, I will type it. I had a typo.
Okay, he's going to type it.
Okay.
Someone's asking, can any HSA or FSA funds be rolled over into retirement accounts?
No.
No.
And right now we don't have an HSA. All we have is the FSA program. So yeah.
Oh, okay. Eddie said he meant for, he said he
without
meant for a
referral.
referral without a referral from Priority Health.
Once see a specialist with a referral, well, things like blood tests ordered by the specialist be communicated directly between.
Oh, I see what he's saying. Like if you go to a specialist and you haven't been referred to them and they order blood tests, would those blood tests be covered since blood tests are typically covered? Or would anything that person ordered not be covered? I think is Eddie's question.
Yeah, and I'm not sure you can. I think you have to stay in network and you have to see the specialist you're referred to. If you go see a physician who you're not referred to, I don't know that that's going to be covered in network or out for that matter. So you definitely need to follow your doctor, your primary care doctor's orders to say I'm referring you to whomever, and see that specialist. And of course, anything that specialist orders after the referral is going to be covered.
More questions about the physicals. I think this is an issue with priority in particular. But can you confirm that they can get a physical in 2025 without having to wait 12 months since their last physical? So like if they got a physical in April of, what year is it? In April of 24, can they get one, in March of 25 in order to be covered?
Yeah, let us check on that. I know this comes up usually year to year. I don't remember the answer from last year though, but I'll definitely confirm that and send it back to you, Amy, if you want to.
Yeah, because if they had a physical within the year,
right,
then they're not going to be able to get the physical in order to be covered for the healthy rate, right?
Yeah. I recall that Priority has rules that allow someone to get a physical earlier than the 12 months if it's for qualification or using the old one. But I'll confirm. I need to confirm that. I don't want to speak on that without knowing for sure. So I'll confirm that and we'll send you an email with that question to that question directly.
Okay, Eddie has refined his question one more time, and now I think it makes sense. He's saying in priority where a referral is not required to begin with, if you go see a specialist, would the blood work that specialist ordered be covered?
I have to say, I don't know of any scenario where you can see a specialist without a referral. I don't know that that's even possible. I suppose if you're doing that it's not even out of network, it could be in network. Let me check with Priority and see if that's even possible. I don't think that's even possible, but.
Okay. Susan?
Yeah, actually, Eric, the annual exam for sure, if you would check on that, but I'm sorry, the annual physical, but if you could actually also check on that as an annual exam, because male and females also need things like mammograms or prostate, right? Like, yeah, and that is different than a physical.
Absolutely, you got it.
Thank you.
You got it.
Several people are telling us that in Priority Health, you don't actually have to have referrals, but you do have to be in network.
Okay. Again, I'll confirm that for you.
Okay.
I think the blood work would also depend too. I don't know that there would be an overarching coverage of all blood work. It probably depends on, is it standard blood work or preventative or, if it's escalated or certain panels and stuff like that, in addition to what Eric's researching.
Okay. Thank you. Other questions, concerns for Eric and Ashley?
Could you clarify at the beginning what was discussed about rates going up for healthcare? What exactly is going up?
Sure. All of the plans, all the medical plans are increasing in cost. The priority plan, the one which is the most popular plan, the Well Choice Benefit Plan, as well as the other priority plan. Those rates have gone up 12% in 2025 over 2024.
Like a disconnection or something?
And Blue Care Network,
I
Blue Care
just unplugged it.
and Blue Care Network and Blue Cross PPO have gone up 16 and 18% respectively, 2025 over 2024. And I think you missed the beginning. The only comment I made on that is, rates generally are going to increase every year, no different than any other service or cost. But this year, I think the rates increased more so than what we've seen in the past. And our rates are really driven by our claims. So each of the insurance companies have underwriting departments that will look at prior years' claims history, and then will project future claims and costs for 2025, and they will derive rates from that information. So that's how the rates get adjusted year over year, is based on that information.
Thank you. Someone's asking, does Priority Health cover C-sections and newborn baby? I think this means NICU charges.
Yes.
Okay. As long as it's a network, I'm assuming, right?
Yep.
Okay. So Eddie, I know you asked Tony and Ken, but Ashley's point about the blood work is that it is going to, even if it's a specialist and you're covered in the specialist, it may depend on what the specialist orders. If the specialist orders something Priority isn't going to cover, it's going to be, it sounds like it's going to be on a case-by-case basis, right? So if I have a specialist who orders me an MRI breast exam, they might not cover it because they don't consider that preventative, even if my specialist considers it preventative. So it might be one of those case-by-case things. Other questions? Could you clarify what the designations of single, two-party, and three or more mean for family designations? Are those referring to partners or children, the number of people in the family, or marital status?
Single is one person, two person.
Eric, I think I accidentally muted you. I was trying to mute someone else and I hit you. Sorry. Start that again.
So single coverage is obviously one person. Two-person coverage is employee and spouse. And then three-person coverage or family coverage is employee, spouse, and dependents. A child cannot be counted on the two-person contract. We've had a number of people who have said it's just me and one child. Is that considered a two-person contract? And it's not.
That seems weird, but
yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
One sec. Oh, someone was asking about the removal of GLP-1 coverage for weight loss. Was that an OU decision? And I know that's not an OU decision. That is a Blue Cross decision.
Correct.
Right. And that's across the country, correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
That's been in the papers, widely covered in the press. Yeah.
Yes, they have lost money hand over fist over the last year and a half. And so I think most of the health insurance, any of them that did cover it, have almost all removed it from their coverage moving forward. Someone wants to know if they can add their parents to their insurance plan.
I guess I would only say if that's a question you have, it's probably best to call the benefits folks and talk about your individual circumstances. I suppose there may be a qualifying reason that someone outside could be covered, but that's very driven by the individual circumstances. So if that's a question you have, it's probably better asked directly of Ashley, probably on a side phone call or conversation.
Okay. When folks have questions, are we still referring them to, just benefits at oakland.edu, but also Kara and Corey and, oh, I just blanked on the third one.
Monica.
Monica, thank you. Is
Well,
that,
Corey's not here any longer. He left
Oh.
the university about, what, a month or two ago as well. So Ashley's in the process of trying to fill that position. So it's a lot going on at this time of the year. But yeah, they can call Monica, they can call Kara, they can call Ashley,
okay.
as well as sharing any question they may have through the benefits email.
Okay, when I share out this link, I'll make sure to put everybody's contact info in that.
Yep.
Ken, what is your point? You lost me there. It says federal and state law now force clinics to communicate to you what will and will not be covered by your insurance for all procedures and tests. So just make sure to request the information, I guess, I think is Ken's point. Anything else?
Sorry.
Okay, if anybody has any other questions, I will send out this link to all the faculty and I'll put everybody's contact. I'll put Eric and Ashley and Monica and Sarah's contact. Wrong name. Monica and Kara's information. I'll send that all out to everyone. Thank you, Ashley and Eric, for this session, and we'll make sure all the faculty get it. Ooh, I just got one more question. Hold on. Do the insurance cards remain the same from year to year?
Have we gotten any notice from Blue Cross or Priority, Ashley, that they're changing cards? I've not seen or heard anything about changing cards.
I don't believe that they are, but those who are new to the plans should hope to get theirs by the beginning of the year after open enrollment.
If you are declining medical insurance, do you need to fill out that form every year?
Yes.
Yes, you do. That's important. Okay.
Yep.
All right. If
Okay.
anybody, oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, and Amy, I will send you an email in the next day or two with follow-up on those two items that I've got noted here, and you can share that with the group then.
Okay, perfect. All right. Thanks, everyone.
Okay, thanks. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.